So as we begin to kind of do this, focus on our individual practice and then begin to bring that to the people that we are mentoring. One of the things that we've talked about is if we're really going to work on our practice, and what we're going to do now is our monthly calls are all going to be practice calls. So all of us are going to be much more aware of our practice and what's the dynamic of our practice, and then we're going to have the ability to be able to share that with each other in our monthly phone call. So that's the direction that we are moving. Much more of a focus rather than being focused on our mentees' practice. We're really focusing on our own. And then that will already have an automatic connect with what we're doing with our mentee. One of the things that's come up is since we're going to share our practices, and since what we want to do is become experts in our practice, right? Whatever we choose our practice to be, so that we can then begin to articulate and begin to teach and begin to create for other people a creative process in terms of how we dealt with learning, or how many, it's like what parts of our practice do we really need to work on? And also what parts of our practice are the ones that we somehow automatically got gifted? And do we really do a self-evaluation? All right, now this is from the observer point of view, so we're going to try to be as objective as we can, and if you're doing it in your head, you're not objective. So it has to be connected with feeling. But what do you know at the level of knowing, which is, look, no, it's here, no, I know, all right? What are the things that you know are the gifts that help you to glide through the world? I mean, do you really know them, and do you really energize them? I mean, we can go through and find those things that are automatic, or the things that we want to make automatic. And what are the things that were gifted to us by our parents, and what were the curses that they put on us? But we spend way too much time on the curses. We don't really see those things that are automatically a part of the image, but that are connected to a deeper level of who we really are. Look, for me, somewhere along the line in the survival of my family, I had to develop a sense of humor because it was the only way I could get away with the things that I did. So I learned to laugh. and I think it's a wonderful gift. We just did a video on imposter syndrome, and a lot of times people think my laugh is like contrived, like I try to do it. What fun. Yeah, so we want to look at what are our gifts. Anurag, your gift is heart compassion. There is a wonderful, I'm kind of making this to a larger audience, but if I were with the heroes, and we probably better do this, I'd talk about what I see as the gifts that you already have, that are the practices that you do automatically in the way that you have connected that creates an energy in your life. There's not anybody that's listening to this that doesn't have a real energy source from somewhere. And what is it? Is it contracted? Yeah, a lot of ours are, and that's the adrenaline energy. But a lot of them come from different source of energy. Those are really the gifts that we have that sometimes we take for granted. Or that sometimes we don't. I mean, a lot of times we're embarrassed by our gifts. So, what I want you to do in our mode of practice is to begin to do inventory. What are the practices that you do that are automatic? What are the practices that you feel really good about? Maybe you're non-judgmental. Maybe you're pretty positive in terms of the outlook that you have in your life. Maybe you're just incredibly connected and loving, and that loving nature just exudes itself out there, and that's part of what makes your life quite salubrious. What are the things that people admire the most about you, but maybe you don't hear enough so that you're getting more of an energy source from that? Now, ask your spouse. I think that's what Sadiq did. He says, okay, I know that I can, see myself with a lot of bias, and so will you confirm these? As the practices that I already have a good connection with. And then those that we have a really good connection with, we can begin to start to share with each other, all right? You guys must have, as a result of working with me, learned to laugh more, okay? Because when you think of things and when you remember, you will remember with a smile. And it'll be oh yeah, okay. Anurag, you'll feel the compassion. Tarun, just this incredible loving energy. I can go down the list, but this isn't the place. We'll do that later. So, that inventory, check it with people. It'll be really fun, and it'll create meaningful conversations. One of the things we're going to do at Swan Tip, by the way, in terms of all of this, is make sure that when we communicate with each other, we're doing it in a meaningful way. That we're not talking crap. It's hard not to do. It's a practice. And some of you are better because automatically you have an ability to be able to connect with people and make that connection go deeper than the superficiality that most of us have when we're dealing image to image with each other. Find your strength in this inventory. It's a strength inventory. Find those things in you that you really do feel good about, and then feel that. And what that does is it just allows that energy to flow at a greater level of abundance somehow. So enjoy it.